Hi, everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions with DS. I'm pleased to welcome Dorna Moini.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Dipti, for having me on this podcast. Really excited to be here with you.
So, Dorna Moini is the CEO and founder of Gavel, a no-code platform for building document automation and client-facing legal products. Prior to starting Gavel, Dorna was a litigator at Sidley Austin. Dorna is on the Legal Services Corporation Emerging Leaders Council and a member of LAFLA's advisory board. She was named an ABA Legal Rebel and a Fast Case 50 honoree. She also teaches the Legal Innovations Lab at USC Law School. So firstly, can you tell us what problem were you trying to solve for law firms?
So I was an attorney, as you mentioned, for almost a decade. I practiced and had a very active pro bono practice. And what I really wanted to do was build some software tools for the clients that I had in this pro bono practice in the area of domestic violence. So that was originally what I was trying to do, basically help domestic violence survivors navigate through all the different processes that they need to generate restraining orders, child support orders, all of the paperwork that they needed for their cases. And eventually what I realized, we launched a tool for domestic violence. We saw that consumers were using it, but then we also saw that lawyers and legal professionals wanted to build similar tools to what we had built for domestic violence. And so that really caused us at Gavel to take a step back and think, how can we best support all of these legal experts, the attorneys and legal professionals who wanted to build their own tools? And for us, the answer was Gavel. It was building a technology platform on which they can build anything they want without ever needing to know how to code. So that was really the being able to allow attorneys to bring access to justice to the masses and to their clients and scale up their practices was really the impetus for us and the problem we were trying to solve.
Wow, that sounds so inspiring. And I'm looking forward to know more. So tell us a little bit about what exactly does the product do?
So now what Gavel is we are a no-code document automation product and legal product builder. So I'm trying to think of some parallels that are international. In the US, we have two companies called TurboTax and LegalZoom, if people are familiar with that. They are essentially tools that legal web apps where you can get onto the platform, answer questions, be routed down different paths. What Gavel does is it enables you to build one of these tools without ever having to hire a software developer or needing to know how to code. Because what you can do is you get into the Gavel platform and you create questions first. So you create questions that you want to ask your client. So for example, let's go back to that domestic violence arena. You would ask the question, what's your partner, the partner who is in the relationship with you, what is their name? Do you have any children with them? What happened next? Like what's all the information that I need to gather from my client? You might also put videos and images in front of the user because the person who's building it is building it for their customer, for their client, the end user. And so you might put videos and images in front of that to explain what the process is. So you might have a short video on what kinds of assets you could include inside of the piece about assets. And then through that process, what you also do is you take all that information that's now been gathered and you funnel it into all the right places of the document, whether that's just putting a name in a certain place or whether that's logic-based, meaning that you can say, I want this entire new paragraph to appear inside of the document because this person said they have children and they said they have minor children. So you're really crafting the legal work product through the platform by applying all these if this, then that rules.
Understood. And I can see so many use cases here in the Indian industry because one of the challenges for the legal industry in India is just the overburden of legal cases before the courts, and it definitely percolates to the lawyers as well. And as you were explaining Gavel to me, one of the things that struck me was, like, for instance, look at the US mortgage industry. I remember 20 years ago, everyone was doing paper filings. Today, you have end-to-end, from the borrower all the way till the secondary market, everything is digitized. And based on the type of loan you're taking, type of, the status of the applicant, the state in which they're applying, disclosures, all the paperwork is auto-generated, and that is then connected into the software of the underwriting institution, different banks, and then all of that kind of becomes very standardized. And the industry is able to actually move really fast, which is what we are seeing today in the US mortgage industry. So I think the scope for someone to envision something that big for this industry and really like revolutionize the whole process of how we look at, documents in our scenario. But as with everything, I'm sure there are challenges. So let's talk a little bit about that. Where do you see the challenges?
Yeah, so I love that analogy, such a great one. And I think it actually leads well to the topic of challenges, because one of the things that I love that you said was thinking big in terms of the picture and what you're going to build. And for a lot of, there are so many different types of products that are built on Gavel. You can build anything. We have people building in 23 different languages, in 23 different countries, in 18 different languages, in so many different practice areas. But the biggest challenge is taking that idea that is in your brain and actually building it out on Gavel. And that really consists of a few different parts. One is having an idea to build. And that oftentimes comes for a lot of us legal professionals from something that we've experienced. Like me, myself, I never planned on going and building that other platform that I built, the domestic violence platform. I saw it in my practice and saw that it was a problem. So I felt the need to go change it. Two is spending the time to actually go build it out, because you have all this expertise in your brain, but you actually need to create it, and you have to put it into something. And so you have to get it out of your brain and put it into something that's more tangible. And then the third part is getting it to market. So you can build a software tool on Gavel. We give you the out-of-the-box tools to do that with, but you still now need to go find your customers. And so that's something that we work a lot with our customers. We're trying to provide a lot more guidance on. But one of the things I often say is to our customers is think big, start small. So start with something, a very small version of it, and then iterate rapidly. So just get it out to market as quickly as possible, and then modify it every time that you're getting feedback from users. And that helps a little bit with the challenge.
That's amazing. And that sounds very practical. Even as I reflect on my life as a lawyer, that's, I think, one of the best ways to go about any implementation. I have one last question for you. What is the next logical, expansion for you? Where do you see this going from here on?
Yeah, so I would say there are two big things for us. One is making it faster to build. And then two is making it faster to get to market. Really going back to some of the challenges that we were talking about earlier on what are the challenges to bringing something to market. So on the build side, we have introduced several different AI features into our platform to help you build your workflows faster. So rather than necessarily having to start from scratch, if you prefer, you can load all of your template documents of your ideal, perfect work product into Gavel, and we'll take you through and suggest all the questions that you should ask your client, what order you should put it in, where that information should funnel into that of the documents. So we're really trying to get you from A to B much faster than you were before. And then two is, how do you then, now that you've built a product on Gavel, a legal product, now how do you get customers? So that's the second piece that we're now working on, is just bringing more market share to our customers, so that they can, once they build these amazing products, they can actually scale them up and reach the people who need them the most.
Great. That sounds great. I have so many more questions that I can ask, but we have reached the end of this session. I would love to bring you back on again in a few months to know how you're dealing with the revolutionary new technologies of today. But this has been fascinating, and I'm so excited to just get my hands on Gavel and do a quick demo. So more on that later. But thank you so much for your time and for this fabulous conversation, Dorna.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and excited to continue catching up.